Hello, everyone. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I do a whole bunch of other stuff. All these videos get posted on this subreddit right here. It's very, very important to look at this because I make updates. So you're not gonna find any content creator out there that will go out of their way and make updates with all of the news that comes out throughout the day. And with late season NBA, these videos basically the entire slate changes, right? Like this is like a general idea of like what to do, like if then situations, but that I go over. But we're gonna have players most likely. I would bet my life on it that aren't questionable right now that will be resting tomorrow. Like you're gonna see whole teams start resting players that don't have anything to play for, stuff like that. So I really stress the importance of coming to check this out because I make updates with all of the news that comes out and what that affects and what I like and stuff like that. You can also talk strategy here and like you can ask me questions. So like yeah, pretty much the only one doing this stuff. So definitely, I think it's very, very important to check that out. It's called, like I said, DF Sports right there. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter, right here at Tory Langley 1992. If you ever need ask me any questions privately, stuff like that. So no lineup to go over tonight. I don't sweat my lineups, but my main lineup unfortunately is dead. That's why I'm making this video a bit early. There's just nothing to sweat. I don't want to look at my night slate, so that's why I'm not showing you guys my lineup. I don't know if you guys know. I don't sweat my lineups. I just don't do it. So that's why I'm not showing you tonight. But my main lineup is dead. I had Tatum. So that pretty much just sunk everything. And the core that I had for today was Jordan Goodwin. He smashed. Who else did I have core? Jordan Goodwin. Theo Maladon was a core play. He nuked. Jason Tatum bust. And then who else did I have a core play? I accidentally had Johnny Davis as a core play. I don't know if people saw it. I forgot to take him out, and then I told everyone he wasn't a core play, but he nuked. He went for 40, so if you count that. And then, who was my last one? I'll just take a look. Oh, DeJounte Murray. He was fine. Went for like 40, I think. Just a little bit more than 5x, so 3 out of 4 on the core, or 4 out of 5 if you want to count Johnny Davis. And in my lineup, I had Goodwin, I had Thea Maladon, I had Jason Tatum, I had Kai Jones, I had DeJounte Murray, I had Skylar Mays, I had Jonathan Williams, and I had Brandon Ingram. So yeah, Skylar Mays. I told everyone I absolutely love Skylar Mays. He was like 10% owned. He just absolutely nuked. So let's go over this. I believe 8-game slate for tomorrow. So like I was saying earlier, I think you're going to see teams rest a lot of players tomorrow, and that's like I was saying. I stress the importance of checking out that Reddit where I'll make updates. So teams that I think have a strong chance of resting people tomorrow. So Dallas, one of them. Milwaukee, another one of them. Possibly Brooklyn. Who else? Well, Washington's gonna rest everyone. We already know that. Memphis won't. Pelicans won't. Um, Lakers, Clippers won't. Sacramento won't. I don't think. So Milwaukee, Washington, Brooklyn, possibly Detroit. Um, and then possibly Dallas. So we'll see. Like I said, it's going to be important to check out those things. So let's go over this 8-game slate. So Knicks at the Pacers, really, really good spot here. RJ Barrett we do have as questionable. I don't have a lean on if he will be playing or not. I will say it's been about 5 or so days, non-COVID illness. I know in the past they've been pretty strict on non-COVID illnesses, but It's been about a week now, so we'll see. So if he's in, I think it's really just Jalen Brunson on this team that I'm going to be looking to. I still like him even at 9,200. Would prefer RJ Barrett to be out just because he'll have a bunch more usage, but he's going to play 40 minutes. He's the clear go-to guy on this team. You can't get a better matchup. Well, you can. Spurs, possibly Charlotte, stuff like that. But it's a phenomenal spot. Pace-up spot as well. So I'm still fine even paying 9.2 for Jalen Brunson. And then quickly, you can't get to him at almost 8K if RJ's in. Can't get to Grimes. Can't get to Hart. Obi Toppin would be out to play. The bigs, they'll split the center minutes. I think they're both priced about right. Both do have a ceiling, so they're both just tournament dart throws. But I feel like we'll have much, much better value on this slate. If RJ Barrett is out, though, that does change some things to me. Then I still like Brunson quite a bit, even at 9,200. Like him a bit more. I think Quickly would be in play. I just wished he was a little bit cheaper, but we know the drill with Quickly and we know the drill with Dips. He's going to play his starters close to 40 minutes. The usage, the minutes, they will be there, so I'm fine with him. Not like a standout play at that price tag. Quentin Grimes, unfortunately, I'm going to say it, he would be in play even at 6,500. I mean, if you want to ride the hot streak with him, I would not hate you for it. I'm personally not going to pay 6.5K for Quentin Grimes, but he'll play pretty much over 40 minutes. And when he's hitting his shots, he can go for 40. So definitely in play, but not a standout to me. And then I would like Josh Hart. I know he got injured last game. He was on pace to play pretty big minutes. He got injured. He lost out on like 8 or 9 minutes. I played him this slate. So I think we get around 35-ish minutes from Josh Hart if RJ Barrett's out, a usage bump as well. So I would like him as a bounce back candidate here in a good spot. And then the bigs don't really change much for me. Obi Toppin gained minutes last game because of the Josh Hart injury. I think we get around 22 to 24 minutes from him if if RJ Barrett's out with Josh Hart healthy, which makes him playable. But 5.1K is just I think a little bit too pricey for my liking there. Let's move on to the Pacers. So Miles Turner, I would bet my life on it. He's not going to play tomorrow. There's just no reason to play him. So with that being said, it's pretty. Let's start with Buddy Hield. It's pretty hard for me to go to him. His minutes on a downtrend of late, way downtrend. So can he pay off this price tag at 5.2, playing 25 minutes? Absolutely, when he's hitting his shots, but I don't think we need to go there. I think it's more of just a large field tournament play for me. I do like both the bigs in Isaiah Jackson and Jalen Smith. Now, it's a very, very, very tough spot for bigs. So if they're going to get ownership, I think they make for good fades in tournaments. I feel like they will. And just give me Isaiah Jackson over Jalen Smith. They're going to split the center minutes, right? Isaiah Jackson's been playing a lot worse than Jalen Smith, so I assume Jalen Smith's going to be the more popular one. He's more expensive as well, so just give me Isaiah Jackson over Jalen Smith. He's cheaper too by almost $1,000, so I think they both look good, but give me Isaiah Jackson there. TJ McConnell is definitely my favorite play on this team. Got into massive foul trouble this game against Cleveland, which could have been expected. I think we get, high 20s minutes from him at 5.4K. I think that's definitely solid. So I do like TJ McConnell. Mathurin, I think we get high 30s minutes from him. No issue going there. I think it's a solid play at 6.2 if he hits his shots. Solid rebounder as well. So I think Mathurin would be my second favorite play on this team. And then Andrew Nembhard, I think we get around 30 minutes from him. A guy that can stuff the stat sheet, basically do a little bit of everything. Seems like a pretty safe play to me, but I prefer TJ McConnell for about $8,000 cheaper there. On to Brooklyn. So we'll just see. Like I said, Bridges, Dinwiddie, you guys know what I'm going to say. It's a phenomenal matchup. So I like both the main two guys here for Brooklyn. I do prefer Dinwiddie to Bridges. Just the higher floor, similar ceiling, cheaper price. I think it's easier to get to Bridges with that shooting guard eligibility, but with price adjusted into consideration, and the floor plus ceiling combo of Dinwiddie, I do prefer him to Bridges. Claxton at 7.1, I think is reasonable. I wish he was playing more minutes. 7.1 just seems priced about right. Cam Johnson, I feel like is priced about right as well. So just a fine filler play to me. And you couldn't pay me to play guys like Royce, Dorian Finney-Smith, those types of guys. We're going to have just a lot more value tonight or tomorrow night. So I'm going to show you guys this Pistons rotation from tonight. So obviously I don't expect Bagley, Bojan, any of these guys to play. I don't expect any of these questionable guys to play tomorrow. So, with that being the case, let me just make sure they didn't have anyone back that I'm seeing here. So they started a lineup tonight of, I believe, Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, Wiseman, Duran, and was it Livers? I believe Livers. I just pulled it up. Actually, all I know is they started they started Duran and Bagley together, or Duran and Wiseman together. So if they do that again, you saw Duran play 36 minutes, you saw Wiseman play 30. If they do this starting lineup again with all these questionable guys out, with Wiseman and Duran starting alongside each other and both playing over 30 minutes, I like both a lot. Both very, very good point per minute guys. They're both well above a fantasy point per minute. If you can get them over 30 minutes, they're both easily going to pay off their price tags. Don't have a lean on which I like more. I will say I just like both a lot if they go with that same starting lineup. You saw Killian Hayes play 42 minutes. I don't know if we'll play 42 minutes again, but was horrible in that time. I think I much prefer just going to Jaden Ivey. He just has the much higher ceiling. So I like Ivy. I like both the bigs if they do that same starting lineup. And then Eugene Amourier, I think, is playable at 5K, but wish he was a little bit cheaper. Only played 26 minutes tonight off of the bench. So I think that'll do it. I don't think I can go to Livers. I'm not going to go to Kojo, so I think that'll do it for Detroit. If they're all in, I'll make updates on Reddit, and then we'll just reevaluate later. On to Toronto. So I believe everyone's going to be healthy for this game. We do have Trent questionable. I don't really think that changes much news for me. Tough spot here. So, like, Siakam, Fred, I think they're more tournament-only plays for me. I do prefer Fred to Siakam for the discount. Scotty, I think, is overpriced. OG at 7.3 is way overpriced. Jakob Poeltl, no Robert Williams. Bigs have been actually doing pretty well against Boston without Robert Williams. So maybe Poeltl's my second favorite play on this team, but they're all just tournament-only plays for me. No standouts here for Toronto. Boston, we have Robert Williams questionable, so he might be back. I don't really think that changes much anyway. I think Poeltl's still fine. All right, so on to Boston. We have Brown questionable. We have Robert Williams questionable. Peyton Pritchard doesn't matter too much. If Brown's in, no standouts. Tatum, Brown, they're both playable. Then it would just take like the guards out of play for me, and Derek White, Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon at their respective prices. If Robert Williams in, that hurts Al Horford, so I wouldn't really be going there. Grant Williams would go back to the bench if they're in, and he's 5K anyway, so he would be out of play for me. So if Jaylen Brown's in, this team is very, very unappealing. So got to keep an eye on that. If Jaylen Brown is out, though, still a tough matchup. Surely Jason Tatum is going to have a good game with the team to himself when I play him. I'm going to fade him tomorrow, and he's going to absolutely nuke the slate, but does get a ceiling bump. He's going to have to do everything for this team. Has an extremely high usage rate with no Brown. So Tatum would look good if Brown's out. Then I think you can start considering White, Smart, Brogdon. I think White is the... I think Smart is the safest to play around 30 minutes. Like, I don't think they're going to bench Smart for, like, Brogdon or White. I think White has the highest minutes ceiling, and I think Brogdon is the riskiest, but has the highest ceiling of all three and the best point per minute guy between all three. So Smart the safest, Derek White kind of safe with upside, and then Malcolm Brogdon, the tournament play with the most upside and best point per minute guy, but probably plays less than the other three. So that's how I'll break down the guards, but all three would be playable. And then Al Horford is just like there for me. He's fine filler play. Grant Williams too, like 5K. It just seems pushing it for me. Let's move on to Washington. So pretty confident. Porzingis, Beal, Kuzma, Denny, Delon, Monte Morris will not be playing in this game. Pretty confident in that. So with that being said, if we get a situation where like Delon writes in, then I still think Goodwin looks like a good value. I think Delon would be solid, even at that price. Johnny Davis will probably have to play a ton, would still be a playable value. I'd be off Kendrick Nunn. And yeah. I think that makes sense. And then if everyone is out, let's take a look at the rotation tonight together. You saw Daniel Gafford. Daniel Gafford at 6'3" is pushing it, but would be fine. It's much better spot than he was in tonight. Corey Kispert has a ceiling if he's hitting his shots. Playable at 5'7", don't love it though. And then here we get into the value, which I would like. I would really like Goodwin. Johnny Davis would be a solid value. Kendrick Nunn would be a solid value. Only played 22 minutes, which is what I expected him to play, but would be a good value. It was definitely over-owned. Jay Huff, the Summer League GOAT, would get the backup 5. I would like him at 3-2. I believe Anthony Gill started at 3-1. I don't think he played a ton, though. 22 minutes would be a fine play, but I think I prefer Jay Huff getting the backup 5. Very good point per minute guy, too. I don't know if you guys know who Jay Huff is, but played him a lot in Summer League. He was very, very good there. Also, we have Summer League coming up. I have all of content for that. So, would like this Washington team if all of those guys get ruled out there. On to Atlanta. So, we have Trae Young questionable. It's a phenomenal spot here. So, and we have Hunter questionable. If they're both in, then I like both the guards. I like Trae Young for tournaments. I like DeJounte Murray for tournaments. If Hunter's in, it's probably going to take me out Bey. It's probably going to take me out Bogdan and all these secondary plays. If Trae and Hunter are both out again, then I love DeJounte Murray. I think Bey, even at 5.5K, is solid. Bogdan, I would really like at 5K. I really liked him today. Didn't understand why Sadiq Bey was double the ownership of him, but would really like Bogdan, would like Bey. I think Collins would even be reasonable. And then sure, if you want to take shots on like Jalen Johnson, go for it. But I think we'll have better value on the slate. On to Chicago. Not much here in a tough matchup. DeMar, Levine, Vooch, all just fine contrarian plays. And then with Caruso in, it's impossible to go to the value there. Let's go to Milwaukee. So this is a team that I think is probably going to be resting pretty much everyone tomorrow. Very, very high chance I think they rest people. So, got to keep an eye on it. So if everyone's in, then it's just Giannis for me at the top. If Middleton's out, then it's still just Giannis, and I think Drew's a bit overpriced now, and I wouldn't be going to the value. So if everyone's in or if Middleton's out, it's just Giannis for me at the top in an okay spot. If we get a situation where they like rest Giannis, rest Drew, rest Brook Lopez, I don't know if they'd rest Portis, but rest like Joe Ingles, Jay Crowder, and stuff like that, then we're gonna have a situation where like we're gonna be loading up on like I don't know, Javon Carter. Beauchamp is horrible, but it would just depend on the starting lineup and who rests. So this is just a wait and see approach for now, but we could have a lot of value here from Milwaukee tomorrow. On to Memphis. So, it's an okay spot against the Pelicans. Not ideal, but I think Ja's a fine tournament play. I think Bane's a bit overpriced. Jaren has upside, but I don't like the price tag there. Tyus Jones is out of play. Not going to pay 5.8 for Tillman. Dylan Brooks is questionable if he's in. Hard for me to go to any of these secondary pieces. If he's out, then I think Kennard's viable, but don't like too much here for Memphis outside of like John Morant. On the Pelicans, so Ingram finally priced up to 10K. I think he's now at that price point to where he's appropriately priced. Doesn't mean he's out of play for tournaments, but less appealing to me now. CD has been god-awful, just a large field tournament play for me. Jonas, it depends on the minutes. If you think he keeps getting 30 minutes, then I think he's solid, but once again, they're kind of giving Nance a bit more minutes now, so just a tournament play there. And then you can't go to this value on the slate. We're just going to have such better value on the slate if I had to guess. Sacramento with Dallas, so I like Fox. I like Sabonis quite a bit. I think they're both good tournament plays. Have very, very high ceilings on both. I think both are definitely reasonable. I think Fox does seem a bit too cheap. We have Monk back, so that's going to hurt. Like guys like Terrence Davis can't go there. It's going to hurt the wings. So I think it's really just Sabonis and Fox for me at the top. On to Dallas, so we'll see here. I think there's a chance that Kyrie and Luka both get shut down here. If they're both in, then it's really just the top two guys for me, which I don't even like at their respective prices anyway. If they're both out, then we'll just monitor it. Then, like, could be Jaden Hardy season, could be Josh Green season, could be McKinley Wright season. So we'll just monitor this news. I'll post updates on Reddit. So we'll see there. On to the Lakers. So Lakers need to win games right now. We'll have to monitor if D'Lo is going to play or not. If he's out, then sure, you can consider Reeves, but he's overpriced. It still wouldn't really change much for these secondary guys for me, but it would really just be AD and LeBron at the top for me. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here, so I think LeBron's going to have to play, close to 35 minutes here at 10K. I think that's reasonable. Same with Anthony Davis. No standouts, but playable options. And then on the Clippers, no standouts here. I think Kawhi's good. I mean, if you're into the revenge narrative factor with Westbrook, by all means, go for it. It's a phenomenal matchup against the Lakers as well. Um, I wish he was cheaper because I'd probably play him tomorrow if he was like 8K, but the price is going to keep his ownership down. So I think Westbrook is a good tournament play here in a revenge narrative if you're into that in a phenomenal matchup. If Eric Gordon and Morris are in, it kind of takes me off Norman Powell. If they're both out, I think Powell's like a pretty safe play at 5.5. And then I'm not going to be getting to anyone else. I think Zuwac's just like a fine play at his current price, but really no standouts here. I like Kawhi and I like Westbrook for tournaments in a great matchup. So hope this video helped you guys out, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.